one.
Super friend. Sit down. Bitch. Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Super Friends Sit Down. I am, of course, your right side of the table, the spreader of seeds of knowledge, Alex Bianchini, and to my left is the swallower of seeds, Vince Stampoulis.
Howdy, y'all.
There we go.
That was pretty good, actually.
Thank
I
you.
thought you were going to say that I am also the spreader of seeds. Spreader, swallower, sower.
You get in yang.
Balance. Life is all about
Out one
balance.
way and in the other. If
The
I
analogy
could,
for
it's a
defense.
terrible segue for me to go off of. One thing I do want to address as a longtime guitarist, I do want to say rest in peace to the late, great Eddie Van Halen. Terrible news. So just wanted to.
Keeps getting
2020 just taking another one, man. Like,
can't seem
really,
to
just
catch
so
our fucking breath.
ridiculous, man.
It's
But,
just too fucking much.
yeah. Speaking of too much, one thing I want to address, one thing I could not get over, and I'm so happy I get to let this out right now. Not the episode that just premiered. Actually, no, it is the episode that just premiered, but we recorded it 2 weeks ago. It was in the middle of a story, and you decided to pull a classic trademark and start yammering on about whatever the hell it was you were talking about. And in the middle of it, I, of course, call you out. And then we argue, and you almost word for word say, "Shut up and tell your story."
I am who I am. No apologies given. No apologies at all.
Oh, it made my blood boil so much.
Good. Good. I'm just trying to get you heated up.
And then to top that off, also, for how often you call me a stupid bitch, as if it's like your catchphrase, you went ahead.
Some might say it is.
You went ahead, and not only did you tell the same story twice, but
I told you I didn't tell it at all.
Exactly.
And that's because I'm not a
Exactly.
perfect person, nor do I ever aim to be one. You know what is perfect? This fresh set. I need to stop being allowed to shop on Amazon.
Why do you have so many things for fingers? Oh, my
Gotta
you
get
got my lip on that
inventive.
one.
Gotta get inventive, you know.
What is it from?
Wait. Can you guys hear that?
From Super Troopers? Did you ever see Super Troopers? Did you?
Super Troopers?
Yeah. With
No, I didn't. That's the one. Is it the same cast from Club Dread?
yes.
Okay.
So Super
saw Club
Troopers-
Dread. Never saw.
So Super Troopers, there's a part in it where there's a pre-sex scene where the person that one of the cops has sex with tells him about the old slap and tickle, and that's the first thing I thought about.
Slap and tickle with these
That's the
babies.
first thing I thought.
Slap and tickle. Slap and tickle.
Oh.
That's the thing people are very much into. Slapping and tickling.
You're into what you answered, man. That's fine with me.
Enjoy what you like.
Now, one thing I want to talk about real quick.
Sidebar. Sorry that I told the same story twice. My memory, not what it used to be. And I'm going to blame that completely on quarantine mixed with marijuana.
I mean, I am also guilty of it, but
Absolutely.
But I also didn't tell you that I didn't tell the story.
You know what? I just wanted to inform the people yet again how bad drivers in New Jersey are.
Yeah, they are pretty terrible. Actually, wasn't it a Pennsylvania driver in New Jersey?
Maybe.
I think that was...
Speaking of which, a little quick PSA to drivers.
It's fucking fingers.
Yeah, these nails are extra. If you're making a right-hand turn, you do not need to come to a complete stop, veer off to the left, and then make your right turn.
You know where I got that a lot? Texas.
I'm getting that a lot all over the fucking place. I'm getting that a lot everywhere, and it's
Attracting
so annoying.
Now,
Just drive.
So, two things
Shut
I
up
want to
and
get into
drive.
because I know we're both in the middle of it. The two of us just finished The Boys.
Oh, The Boys.
Oh, man.
So good.
We're
Great show on Amazon.
Still too early to talk about what happens at the end, but
I do just want to say,
just watch
Great.
it. Oh my god. The finale just kept on giving. It was insane. Because they have like 7 different plot points to build off of now. So if there's not
So many.
if there's not a season like 3 to 5,
no, there is. Actually, spoiler alert, but it's the season 3 spoiler. The actor who plays Homelander.
Is that the thing I sent you earlier? The homicidal?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Homicidal maniac. That is his character in season 3, which I totally thought that was going to be season 2.
Which, if you're not already watching it, you might already gather that, but it doesn't matter. What I would recommend, though, if you haven't seen it, what I did is I started a 30-day Prime trial, and then I put a timer on my phone. Well, not a timer, but an alarm, so that way I could cancel it before I get charged. Because I don't really use Amazon that much. It doesn't really matter to me.
Do you have an Amazon account?
I do.
Then Prime is free. The Prime Video.
No, it isn't.
It's included with the subscription to Amazon.
With Prime. I have an Amazon account.
You don't have a Prime account?
Yeah, because I don't use it
You
that
don't have
much.
a Prime account?
I don't, because I don't use Amazon.
Your mother
that
doesn't have a
much.
Prime account? You're not like mooching off of her or something?
You know what's weird?
going on here?
She doesn't remember her password.
Classic old people thing.
Yeah.
Can't remember
Don't
passwords.
call my mother old, you fucking asshole. Well, there it goes.
Listen.
I just told him I didn't want to curse as much, but you know what? He talked about my mom, so mulligan. Anyway.
I just want to say I'm gay, and in the gay world, once you hit 25, that is equivalent to being 76 years old. So,
Whatever.
anything older than that, you're fucking brittle bones.
On top of that, we both started watching The Haunting of Bly Manor, which I hate to say
The
it so
sequel
far.
to Haunting of Hill House, if you
I
will.
wouldn't call it this. Yeah,
It's a sequel because it's the same. Like the show is called The Haunting, and it's
like-
American Horror
it's
Story,
like the
where
same-
anthology every season.
the same
different with
realm,
the same actors,
essentially.
Let me tell you something though. At least American Horror Story kept it going well, for the most part, at least. Haunting of Bly Manor. Let me tell you something. There's nothing more fucking annoying than kids, except for British kids. The pretension in their voice.
I have to
Splendid.
say, I have to say, British children are so much scarier than American children.
No.
Yeah, no, they totally are.
I'm going to have to politely disagree with you because I think children in general, not scary. The only thing scary is when they're born.
Kids in horror movies are always
And then the
terrifying.
18 years that follows after that.
But yeah,
Kids are expensive.
Kids are expensive. What we were gonna get at is haunting. Like what I'm getting so far out of it is that it's pretty much just spooky Downton Abbey, and I tried watching that show and I could not stay awake, man. Like
I watched the first episode.
of Downton Abbey or Bly Manor.
Bly Manor.
Okay.
I've actually never seen an episode of Downton Abbey.
Okay.
I tried to watch it. I watched the first episode. I said, maybe I'm too tired. I should revisit this in the morning. Tried to watch it again the next day. Bored as shit. Because you know what they're talking about? I want to put some tea on the kettle. Put some tea on the kettle.
It's so
And then
far.
I watched 2 more episodes today, and I'm still not fucking into it. You know what other show I wasn't into, and I just kept watching it trying to get in? Ratchet. Did you watch that?
I've only heard good things about it, so it's interesting to hear this perspective. Okay.
Somebody told me, "Oh, you gotta watch it. It gets really good. It gets really good." It's my least favorite Ryan Murphy project ever to come out of the world.
Ryan Murphy's the AHS guy, right? Mm-hmm. Right, Horror Story. Okay.
And Glee, and Nip Tuck,
All right.
and Scream Queens.
All things I'm very unfamiliar with.
Yep.
Okay. Except for American Horror Story. I love American Horror Story.
You didn't watch Nip Tuck?
No.
That was a good show. Well, like any Ryan Murphy show, the first few seasons, wonderful masterpieces, and then slowly gets bad.
Slowly
Gets gay.
got bugle fingers and
That's what these look like.
yeah.
That's how I know I was gay. I used to do that with bugles.
It didn't matter who you were. Everybody did.
No,
bugle
I
fingers.
stacked them up as high as I could because I wanted the longest acrylics possible.
Yeah. You know who else did that? Everyone.
If you did that, you're gay. You're gay now. How do people do this with nails? Like, this is... I just like the sound.
I don't know. At the same time, you also
so
have to
annoying.
consider how much longer your fingers are now with those on.
I know, I feel like Freddy Krueger.
It's not just nails. Like you have an extra couple.
I have an extra couple
couple
inches.
inches.
I'm just trying to work on my fisting depth by adding a few inches.
He's trying to floss your teeth while he's up in there. Anyway,
Floss your teeth. I'm trying to give you a COVID test. Touch your brain.
oh my god,
so bad.
One thing I also wanted to get into. Granted that this will, the current date is
October 12th.
So this will be premiering on October 21st.
Yes.
Yeah. So October 12th. New episode of Dave and Jay just premiered today, and
The boys.
3 minutes in, the slander and the trash talk at me. Oh, you know what? We didn't discuss this because it was all in person. Rewind. So
Let's give the people backstory.
in the previous
I would
episode,
like some backstory.
if the previous episode, so I went to Jay's birthday.
Yes.
Happy belated, and I met Dave, and blah,
I've
blah,
never
blah.
met Dave, but he has sent me a nude, so.
There you go. Well, he sent you a Buffalo Bill. He didn't send.
Yeah,
you
he sent me the Buffalo Bill. It's still nude.
Yeah, he sent you a Ken doll. But what ended up happening is David mentioned on the episode, not this one that just premiered, but the one before that he's like, I met Alex. He's a much bigger person than I expected him to be. And then Jay was like, do you think you could take him in a fight? And then that's where it came out. He thinks that because of his speed and his scrappy nature, that he could take me down. And I was like, okay.
He lives in like a project building. He's got to know how to fight.
I mean,
you got to know how to protect your own.
As the kids say, I heard that and I was like, okay, bitch, bet. So I messaged them. And I was like, hey, that would actually be really fun if we did that and just like fucked around and threw some punches at each other. And lo and behold,
it's just so funny that I'm the gay one and I had nothing to do with this.
Well, it was what?
Man on man contact.
Oh my god. So lo and behold, we get a message. What was it? 2 days ago?
Something like that.
That
yesterday.
Jay. Oh yeah, today's Monday. Yesterday, Jay messages us. He's like, yeah, I got a promo cut. Like, we're gonna throw some things together.
Jay did the entire production in his head,
and I'm sitting there like, what? So I call him, and he's like, yeah, we got this thing going on. We're gonna do his gym is reopening up. Lionheart.
Whoop, whoop.
Shout out to Lionheart MMA. So we're gonna do the whole production there. Apparently with like a stare down, a weigh in. Like a whole.
Is it gonna be like a whole McGregor actual Ronda Rousey type fight night shit?
Legit
like weigh-ins, like y'all are gonna strip down to the boxers,
weigh in, face off, and so on. I 3-minute rounds apparently of what.
Wait, this is so much more legit than I actually expected it to be.
Well, from what I understand, it's shoot boxing is I believe he was calling it, and from what I understand, if I understood correctly, is that it's essentially MMA without takedowns or kicking. So like, being that Dave has like a background in boxing and I have a background in judo and grappling, it would be unfair to make the fight like specifically one style. Mm-hmm. So it was a mishmash. So
but no kicking.
Right, I could be wrong, but yeah. So I'm gonna tell you straight up. I've
Do you really want to love me forever?
I've never been in a fight.
I
So
believe that.
I've never been in a fight. So
you don't strike me as the fisticuffs kind of guy.
The closest I've been in a fight is I went to a concert years and years ago, and for whatever reason, it was like one of the opening bands, and we were there just watching, and there was a kid just like there was like 15 people in the crowd. Like it was still very early. We got there way too early. He was moshing, but he was like where the mouse is to you, and you were us. So he was just here, just throwing fists back, like trying to cause a problem. So we start backing up, and he follows us. So my friend shoves him. Dude turns around, starts throwing punches directly.
What?
Yeah. So we see this happen. We're like, oh shit! Like, oh, what's happening? And then we see like one of his boys jump in, and then I saw red, and I came at that dude like a freight train.
Were you Uma Thurman and Kill Bill? Like,
no, I was like Kathy Bates on The Waterboy. When the dad is like, "Hey, Bobby, we're gonna go make lots of money," and she runs out like, but
you stupid bitch.
But that's basically what happened. Is like the other dude jumped in, and my brain just went, "Hell no." And full force ran, and all I did was just body check this dude. And
Love that.
He went a few feet off the ground the wrong way through a door. It's like, you know when you open a door and it's like...
He went through the push pull.
And yeah, after everything was like security broke things off, I saw the door like hanging off the hinges, and I was like... I
broke a door.
I did that. We gotta go. I'm not paying for that. So we left. But yeah, it was that was the closest I've gotten to a fight, minus like the few competitive stints I've gotten to in judo.
Okay.
So it's gonna be very interesting. But
I have to tell you, I've been in a few fights.
I was there for one.
You were there for one.
Mm-hmm.
I can never, ever tell the story of a fight because the minute things start, blacked out. Like, I can't remember a damn thing. I just know I usually win.
But yeah.
And that's fun. It's always fun to fight if you win.
So
it's never fun to get your ass kicked.
So here's the thing. It's funny you say that because I'm actually approaching this situation knowing full well that even though Dave is maybe like close to half my weight and a little shorter than me, there's a very good chance I could get my ass kicked. And you know what? I'm okay with that
because you're Scooby-Doo and he's Scrappy-Doo. Scrappy's gonna fuck you up.
I don't know about fuck me up, but he's gonna throw some hands.
He's gonna make Spooky Island.
He's what?
Make Spooky Island. Did you never see the Scooby-Doo movie? We're talking Halloween season, bro.
Zombie Island?
Spooky Island? The
saw
live action one?
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
You never saw the live action Scooby-Doos?
I saw all of the cartoon movies, and I remember Zombie Island with the Hex Girls and shit. That movie was awesome.
Okay.
But hold on, before we talk about Scooby-Doo.
Yes, please. Let's finish this topic so we can get back to the real stuff. Scooby-Doo.
But yeah, so I'm fully aware that I could walk into the ring or the mats or whatever the scenario was gonna be. I could very much so walk in and get my ass handed to me very easily. But at the same time, I'm gonna hold my own. I'm gonna stay humble. I'm not gonna trash talk. But based off of what was said today on the podcast, I'm now gonna try and make it a point that if I go into there, Dave just thinks I have a background in grappling. I don't have to tell you everything. I don't have to.
Secrets.
I don't have to show you anything. You may be hitting the bags with Jay, but I can just do whatever I'm gonna do and not even.
You may be hitting the bags with Jay, but he's pounding the meat.
Sure, like Rocky. Or
a porno,
or jerking off. You can do both. You can
honestly, pounding meat.
Anyway,
multifaceted.
But now I'm gonna try and simply make it a point
to kick his ass.
That if I'm fairly confident that if I can get a hold of him,
okay,
because I know 110%,
how tall is he?
Like 5'7", but he's faster than me. I can guarantee you he's faster than me.
Speed's nothing. If you're built like a brick house,
no,
he can huff and puff and blow you down. But if you ain't going nowhere,
see, here's the thing though. I forgot to mention this. There's apparently going to be a referee and judges.
Am I not judging? No, I'm not judging this. You know what I'm doing? I'm the bitch in the bikini. Round one.
Either that, or I told Jay, I was like, I want you both to commentate.
Absolutely.
Because from what I understand...
Wait a minute. Me and Jay could be the two guys from Celebrity Deathmatch. Do you remember Celebrity Deathmatch?
I fucking love Celebrity Deathmatch.
I fucking loved that show.
The benefit to this, and obviously no hard feelings towards anything, I'm probably going to give Dave a hug before we start punching each other in the face, is 50%... Because apparently Jay wants to put this on Patreon, which is like a streaming service. Patreon, whatever, I don't care.
Patreon.
Apparently half of the proceeds of whatever's raised are going to go to Lionheart to help them out.
Okay.
And then half of the proceeds are going to go to Barbells for Boobs.
Ooh. So there's it's a whole charity event.
So it's so essentially my first fight ever will be for charity. And you know what? That's cool.
Listen, you, in the words of JWoww, you could stay and get your ass beat, you could stay and get your ass beat, you could stay and get your fucking ass beat. But you're raising money for a good cause, so
sure.
At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter.
Listen, if I could be laid out with a black eye, and if it raises enough money to provide a mammogram or help a business stay afloat, sure, fuck it, I don't care. But I'm gonna make it a point that if I can, I'm gonna try and lay Dave out enough that this gentleman here is going to put his tongue so far up your ass that you're going to be Frenched at the same time.
Should I wear these?
Yeah.
Dave, I hope you're ready.
So, you might get your ass beat. You might get your ass eat. You know what?
I hate you.
At the same time, I could be blowing smoke. He might destroy me. And that's something I accept. I don't care. Like I said, I've never been in a fight. But if you don't think... One, I'm going to be giggling because nervous
Do you guys
laughter.
have to have you're wearing boxing gloves, right?
So from what I understand, headgear, gloves, and I think we just have to get mouth guards because, yeah.
See, in my head, if I'm preparing for a fight, do you know what I see in my head when I think about preparing for a fight? Did you ever see the movie Enough with Jennifer Lopez?
Is that the one where she's like abused?
Yes. And then she like seeks revenge and kicks the shit out of
Yeah.
him. She has all these like fucking gaudy ass rings on her hands and she wraps them with ace bandages. So she's like, I'm ready to punch this motherfucker out. Vaseline on the neck. I would fight so dirty if I had to. Because I'm, like I said, I don't want to lose.
But yeah.
Wear these and just like...
So apparently Dave and I are going to throw down for charity.
And if Dave kicks your ass, we'll just call the girls from the boys and we'll have them kick his ass. Like they did to Stormfront. Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen it by now...
It's been a few days. It premiered on Friday.
This is coming out in 2 weeks.
That's
you
still...
dumb ass.
Yeah, my rule is the year. Respect
oh my
the
god.
rules.
Spoiler alert, okay? We've said it several times.
Anyway, though. So, yeah. Keep talking shit.
You gonna get hit.
I'm going to stay here and I'm going to prepare my own. I'm going to stay humble and stay in silence. And I'll see you
As you just said that you want to kick his ass. You're going to try and lay him out. So I can eat his ass.
Yeah, well, when you listen to the episode, you'll understand.
Oh.
Also, I'm Italian and Uruguayan. So, where you call me a mook, it's kind of fitting. But also, you might want to watch yourself a little bit. Not by my standards, but by someone else.
Scandalous.
Oh, I thought that was like a really serious thing that you were doing.
I'm like just not. I'm not used to seeing this side of you. Very dominant. Where was this for the sex episode?
Nervously laughing and trying to stay composed. Besides, I'm not going to put my dominant side to a microphone. I'm going to put my dominant side to whoever's on the receiving end of my disappointment.
Dave. Receiving end of your disappointment. Oh God.
Yo. Anywho. So that's the end of that. I'm sure you'll hear more about it because...
So this week we've learned The Boys, amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Bly Manor, trash.
I'm still going to give it a chance.
Dave and Jay versus Alex. I'm just here for the man-on-man.
Just Dave. If Jay was in the mix,
if Jay,
there's
what
no
if they
chance.
tap him in? What if they tap him in? Tag team that bitch.
This isn't the WWF, man.
You don't know what's going to happen. What if you're kicking Dave's ass and Jay's like, I can't let my boy get his ass fucked up?
There's going to be a ref. He'll stop me.
Or will he?
I would hope so.
How do you know? What if I paid the rep?
Don't.
I want you to win.
I'm going to try. We're going to see how it goes.
I'm going to come dressed like Elvira.
The way...
to distract everybody.
The way I see it is, let's say what I say comes true, and Dave just mops the floor with me. There's the story of David.
He literally will be able to mop the floor with you, though, because you're that sweaty.
Yeah. There's the stories of David and Goliath. Think of the bubonic plague. A microbe devastated a nation, a country.
This is true.
If someone a little smaller than me, a little less dense than me, kicks the shit out of me, it's a very probable thing. It's a very probable thing.
But we're not going to talk like that because we're going to think positively and we're going to say Alex is going to win this shit.
No, this is just humble. I don't want to come cocky. I don't want to come off cocky because that's just not who I am. I'm here to be wholesome. But when it comes to game day, I'm
put up or shut up.
Yeah, I'm not going to be there to have fun. I'm going to be there to unleash my competitive side. And depending on how the adrenaline kicks in, I have a whole year's worth of just emotion and rage that you just might get, honestly.
Do you want some of the pre-workout before? Get your heart pumping? A little cocaine?
Are you offering me cocaine and pre-workout?
That is my pre-workout. What are you talking about?
Maybe I should have myself a Rain Energy fortified with BCAAs and whatever else Jay says. And this is obviously a beer, so though it's very colorful. Anywho,
very gay. Get into this bitch.
You know what's funny? It's even this shit. It's even called iridescent.
For the ASMR lovers.
Now, anyway, before we lose the entire episode talking about just like the the intro, we're not even going to go into our week because I can tell you mine really wasn't interesting. I saw some friends over the weekend. That was awesome.
Whoop, whoop.
Fahey, love you. Ashley, love you. It's great seeing you both. Zeke and Kate, congrats on the house. I hope you guys eventually start to listen because this is really fun to hang out with both of you. And then, what the hell did I do Saturday? I just forgot.
You did something.
What the fuck did I do on Saturday? Who did I see on Saturday?
Not me. You didn't see me.
Oh, wait, no. That wasn't the housewarming. Fuck. What the fuck did I do on Saturday?
Did you get blackout drunk and just somehow don't remember?
No.
I don't know. But who cares?
Wait, no, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Saturday was when I saw Fahey and Ashley. Sunday, I played music. That was cool.
Cool.
Anyway,
wonderful.
yeah.
Absolutely
That's
groundbreaking and stunning.
That's the extent of my week. So like that's that.
I love that. Let's
Anything
just
for
get
you?
right into the subject matter of this week's episode because it's October still. And
still is
my whole
October.
week and my whole month in October really just revolves around spooky shit.
Spooky.
So that's my
So,
week. My
as
week
you
has
might
been
see-
spooky ooky.
Spooky. Friends. So we decided to theme this on spooky stories, both personal and otherwise.
Yes.
So my personal spooky story actually happened on my birthday
When?
when I was born. And now,
Bitch!
And now,
What?
And now I live this life of.
How have you never told me this?
Now I live this life of mediocrity. Bills,
All I need in this
and
life
work
is sin.
is me and a win.
So you being born was the spooky story.
Yeah, that was the joke.
Oh, I thought you actually had a story about like your birth. Damn, I was actually like really. I was ready to get into it, listen to
No.
you, not interrupt you.
No.
Well, here I go.
Spooky
Just
story is 30 years running so far. Almost 31, which is crazy.
yeah, you getting old, bitch.
Dude, I can't wait to be Salt and Pepper Gray. I'm going to age like dollar store wine. Go ahead.
They don't sell wine at the dollar store,
They
but
do.
they do sell a ton of other stuff.
They do when it's me.
Ew, gross. Spooky stories.
Spooky story.
Give me a personal one. Let's rally it off.
I actually have a really good one. So I used to hang out pretty frequently with someone who lived in what they had always considered a haunted house. They had told me stories that they actually dealt with so much like activity that they hired a priest or someone to like bless the house, and they walked through the door, panicked, and they were like, "There's an evil here, and I can't help you," and left.
Burn the house down.
So-
At that point, start from scratch.
So we continued hanging out, and there was one instance where I'm gonna say around like 2000, like right around senior year of high school, maybe like 2008-7 area. Her mom believed a lot in like seances and like channeling spirits and stuff like that. So we went in the basement, and there was this little ritual thing that they did where apparently everybody sits at a table. Everybody sits at a table, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we all held hands. So when she starts to talk, she's like, "Spirits, like, I'm here to speak with you. I'm looking for the spirit of," and I think they channeled their grandmother. And the way that it worked apparently is everyone's sitting there hand in hand at the table, little square table, like probably like this half of the table right here. Excuse me. And
I've seen this done in a movie.
as the spirits begin to like become active, the table tilts upward. And the way that everyone was sitting, I was like skeptical because I was like, I think they're pulling a fast one. I think maybe one of them's like leaning on the table. But as time went on, we started channeling and talking and like questions, and eventually it was like my turn, because at that point in time, it wasn't very far from when two of my friends had passed away very early senior year of high school. So we attempted to channel them, and every question I asked in regard to them and things that they said about me were accurate. So it was all yes or no questions. If the table tilted once down, it was yes. If it tilted down twice, it was no. And when the questions started where they were right one after another, dude, I could not contain myself. I was sitting there just like bawling, like losing my fucking mind. And then it gets worse. So in the basement, apparently, if the table starts to move where you're sitting here, and this is why I'm skeptical, because like, oh, not skeptical, but like kind of in shock at the fact that when the table tilted upward, it started to make its way
Downtown.
across the... It was walking fast.
Faces past.
And it's hellbound. So as when it made its way towards the dark area of the spirits, we had to channel the good spirits to either keep us where we were or bring us back.
Ooh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, it got real weird. And they had told me stories about...
Because that's what happens when you open up the channels. You never know what's coming through.
Right. And they
you
had
open it up both ways.
They had told us stories, too, that when, like, my friends, when they would, like, sleep, they would see, like, a man, like, pass through the doorway. They'd see somebody, like, in the corner of the room. There was one instance where I think they were feeding their cat. And, like, they walked away, and they turned around, and they saw the plate just go across the room. So, like, yeah.
Okay. All right, bitch.
So I lived, like... a very mild instance based off the stories they told me. Mm-hmm. And really, I'd say that's like the brunt of that story. Because I didn't really get to experience more of what would happen in the house or the things they told me. There was one instance, though, where me and my girlfriend at the time stayed there. And apparently, I'm known to, like, sleep talk.
Yes.
But apparently, as I was sitting there sleeping on the couch, I got up and I started wandering around, and then I sat back down and I just started letting out, like, these guttural noises.
Guttural?
Yeah, like...
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So there's a good chance
just, like, have something in your throat?
I don't know. There's a good chance I was possessed by the devil.
Or you were just choking on his dick.
That's exactly where I was going.
Can't get one over on me.
But yeah, so...
a very odd exchange for you. That's... woo!
Yeah, you weren't expecting, like, some real shit, were you?
I wasn't expecting some real shit. Because I've had things happen, but I've never actively seeked out anything. Because I don't have a death wish. And I feel like people who do things like that have a death wish. If I went into a place and someone said, there's a demon in here and I can't get rid of it, I can't help you, I would say, that's absolutely wonderful. Do you have a realtor? I need to sell this house the fuck
this
now.
This isn't a generic white people horror movie.
Absolutely not. You won't catch me in a horror movie. Because the minute something, like, starts to go down, I'm out of town for 3 weeks. Goodbye. Gotta go.
Just 3 weeks?
Jet setting. Like a weekend, really, because these horror movies take place in, like, a weekend.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah. Now, I have a recurring spooky spirit.
Okay.
That I've only recently been seeing since I moved into this house.
Really?
And no, it doesn't live here. On my way home, I take this one turn to get on the main street over here, Carteret Avenue.
Yeah.
And there is all these little islands in the middle of the road.
Right.
Every so often when I drive past and I take my turn, there's just a man standing, shadow. No, like, can't see anything. It's not a person. It's just a shadow standing. And it's so clearly, like, visible because it's under the streetlight. And I almost crash my car every time I see him because I, like, do a quick little turn. And I'm like, what the fuck was that?
You should get a little flashlight and just be like, eh.
Or keep driving because I don't have a death wish.
Okay. Fair.
Now let's talk about a real spooky story that happened in my old house.
Sorry.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to have to agree with you.
Okay.
Because despite
Agree with me on what?
Because despite the fact that it could just be a person or it could be an entity, you can never underestimate the capabilities of a person.
Nope.
And I say that as part of the little fight talk we had earlier. You can never underestimate the capabilities of a person.
That's so wonderful. Thank you so much for that lovely contribution to this topic.
You're welcome. Please keep talking.
Now
shut up and tell your story. You fucking dick.
Shut up. Just shut up. Stop interrupting me now.
Shut up. Just shut up. Shut up.
I loved Halloween since a young age. I have a skeleton tattoo. I've got horror movies tattooed on my body.
You're talking like the season, right? Not the movie?
I love the season. Okay. Spooky season has always been, like, I like Halloween more than I like Christmas. And I love Christmas, bitch. Yeah, who doesn't, really, honestly? Go ahead. Non-denominational.
Non-Christians?
Yep. Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. So, I used to go out trick-or-treating all the time. And I would, do the whole sack of candy and whatnot, the pillowcase full of candy, load it up, have the sugar for like, it could last me probably months, but I'd eat it in like 2 weeks. But I used to go trick-or-treating, and at one point I said, I'm sick of this shit. No one ever comes to my house, so we always have candy. So I'm just going to stay home and watch scary movies on Halloween, hand out candy to like 3 people. This one night, my sister was out trick-or-treating, my brother was out trick-or-treating, or they were at a party. I don't remember where they were, really, to be honest. My mother could not tell you where the fuck she was. So I'm home alone. And, I just caught a whiff of your breath. I just caught a whiff of your beer breath.
Oh, I thought that was like emphasis on the story.
No, oh my god, ew. Your fucking breath is kicking, bro. That beer is
Well, that's what you
lit.
get for calling this beer gay. It struck back.
I love when things strike back. So I'm in my... Yeah, drink your beer and shut up. So I'm in my house. I was watching a scary movie. I've maybe handed out 3 pieces of candy. I've eaten like half the bowl. The one movie's ending, so I put on like music and I'm dancing around my house and I'm just having a good time. And have you ever been in my old house? No, I don't think you have, right? There was this long hallway, and it like you would walk up. So you would walk into my house up the stairs. To the left would be like a huge open living room space. One time. And then there was a long hallway that would take you to the kitchen, my mom's room, my brother's room, the bathroom. And well, me and my brother shared a room. So I'm in the hallway, lying on the ground, catching my breath because I'm out of breath from dancing. And in the corner of the hallway, by my mother's room, blackness just starts coming in. Blackness. And it literally reminded me, like, the only thing that I could equate it to was like the bitch from The Grudge with the hair. Because that's kind of what it looked like, but it wasn't hair. It was like, it looked like smoke almost the way it moved. It wasn't hair. It was very mystical looking. I ran so fucking fast out of that goddamn house and into the fucking street on Port Reading Avenue and said, not here for that. I think I was outside for about 20 minutes before I went back in my house.
Jeez.
I was piss fucking scared. The doors open. All the lights were on. I like refused. No phone. This is before I had a cell phone.
Mm-hmm. Oh, shit.
Girl. Ugh. Can you imagine though? Like, thank God for cell phones because back then,
you lived a classic like
horror movie life.
Scenario.
Yeah.
Have you ever lived in a house with a basement?
Where the fuck are we right now? In a goddamn basement. No, actually, my dad used to have a whole house, and it was like, a whole ass house. No, it was multi-layered. So there was the main level. It was like a split tier, whatever. So there's the main level upstairs, there was the downstairs, and then there was a basement. So similar to how this house is kind of laid out. And I never used to like going in that basement at night because it was just very heavy air. Mm. You know when you can like feel it in the air tonight? But I always used to love going down in the middle of the day because it always smelled like gasoline. I used to love the smell of gasoline. I still do.
That's alarming. To live in a house where the basement smells like gas.
Well, it was the gas-powered heat. It was gas heat. Okay. So they would like do the gas drop. Yeah.
I would
at least
still
I think.
Seems a little alarming. But no, the reason I say that is because when I was younger,
in your basement of your house now, because your house is spooky as fuck. That basement.
So both every house I've ever lived in, because
maybe it's you.
I was born in Perth Amboy. Lived in Perth Amboy.
Hey, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Born in Perth Amboy, lived in Perth Amboy, moved to Woodbridge, and then moved again when my parents got divorced to my grandparents' house in Woodbridge also. And every house that I've ever lived in has had a spooky basement. To the point where, like, as I would turn off the lights, it'd be like 1, 2, and then I'd get to the stairs, and you do like the long reach and turn and go.
I just imagine it's like Jinkies and like they like you know how like when they run so fast it's like the dust yeah. The dust behind them. That's me. And if you don't do that, are you human? Because there's nothing creepier than being in a pitch black room and then having to run upstairs and especially if it's not stairs that aren't like solid, if it's like the wood stairs where there's spaces that something can just like reach in and grab you.
That's the spooky thing about my basement now is as you turn the lights off and then you
I know, bitch. I hate going in your basement by myself.
You go around the corner and then there's that opening, like that open air along the stairs, and every time I have run the corner, it's just dart.
I would be skipping
Even now,
steps.
I'm fucking 30, dude. I'm just like, there's demons. Mm-mm.
I saw on Twitter today, and I have to say, one of my friends, I've lost so much respect for them today, because they said their 2 favorite scary movies on a rainy night: Sinister and Hereditary. Hereditary.
I liked Sinister, though.
I never saw Sinister, but
Sinister's
I hated
a good one.
Hereditary, so that really just irks the hell out of me.
So, one thing that we had talked about earlier is, personal spooky stories.
Yes.
They're few and far between. I can't say I have very many more.
I have one more.
Think I do.
Actually, I have 2 more.
Take the reins.
So I was hanging out with a friend of mine in middle school. I forgot what her name was. I think her name was Cheryl. And we were hanging out, and she lived in a 2-family house. And she lived on the first floor, and there was a door that separated the stairs to the second floor where the other people lived. We're hanging out at her house. We're hanging out. I'm getting ready to leave her house.
Sorry, I burped at you again.
I appreciate that you at least covered your hand over your mouth.
Like a little bit leaked.
A little bit.
A little
Ooh, there it is.
Sorry.
Oh my god. That smells like gasoline, but like in the bad way.
It's so weird too, because
I love the smell of gasoline, as I just told everybody. But that like,
it's funny because in the ingredients here we have what do we got?
Gasoline,
peach, guava, and coconut.
That's what I'm smelling. I smell the guava. I hate the smell of guava.
That is such a very specific sense of smell. But at the same time,
no, because I used to smoke hookah all the time, and my friends always used to get guava. So that smell is like ingrained, and I will never get guava flavored anything.
Probably still festering in my stomach too. Is I had a salad for lunch, and then I had pre-workout before I went to the gym, and then when I got home, I had a Pop-Tart and an empanada. So
balanced diet, if you ask me.
I mean, a Pop-Tart is nothing but an empanada, just dessert empanada, or a ravioli. Circle.
I know that we're getting off topic, but I do just want to ask you, because
I also had no other food in the house. So like I was running late.
Empanadas.
I wanted to get here on time. So.
Empanadas. I'm okay if there's like a little desserty in them. Have you ever had a dessert pierogi? It's disgusting because it's like a mushy dough mixture, like pierogi.
I actually did have a dessert pierogi. It was a
blueberry.
Yeah.
It's the only one I've ever had. It's so gross.
I liked it. I liked it.
Horrible. Back to my ghost story.
Yeah, please. Sorry.
So I'm hanging out with her, and I'm like knocking on the door, waiting for her to open the door for me. And I look, because there's like a little square window to see up the stairs. There's a girl crying on the stairs. Little girl crying, like in a blue dress, pigtails. Like couldn't see her face because she was hiding her hands in it. And I was just like,
sorry, where was this again?
This was at my friend's house in Port Reading, like 2 blocks from where I lived. And
that time burped away from me.
I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
And so she opens the door, and I'm like, your neighbor's like crying on her stairs. She's like, my neighbor doesn't have kids. Like my upstairs, they don't have kids. And I'm like, well, there's a little girl crying on the stairs. I went back out, bitch was gone. And I said, oh, it's a spirit. Cool. I gotta go. Bye.
So it really could have just been a little girl that was just...
How would she have gotten there? If they don't have kids upstairs, that door is locked. You need a key to get into it. So if the people who live upstairs...
Oh, wait. There were stairs inside?
So, okay. It's similar to how my house is, so I can show you, actually. So there's the front door to get in. There's a stairway up, and then there's a door to get to the first floor. The stairway up, there's a door before that. So that door is locked. Like you need a good key to get in there, like an apartment building almost.
Okay.
Yeah. So seeing a little girl crying on the stairs through the little glass window, and then her telling me that they don't have any kids upstairs, freaked me the fuck
that's totally a
out.
ghost. Definitely a ghost.
This isn't necessarily so much a spooky story. This is just something that happened to me because I watched too many horror movies as a kid. I used to be petrified to go to sleep because I would close my eyes and I would just see them all in like the blackness of my brain. Has that ever happened to you?
Oh yeah.
That's some scary shit because it wasn't even like one of them. It was like, it looked like wallpaper, the way they just like fit into like a puzzle just repetitively.
You know, it's funny you say that because when I was younger, when did the first Scream come out?
1996.
So right around 96. I had seen the commercials and I saw a snippet of that movie, and I was
Okay.
and I was 6, 7 maybe at the time, depending on like whenever.
You were born in
89.
Okay.
So I was at that point still very young. I had a nightlight, and I had above my bed Spider-Man stickers, just like on the wall.
Okay.
And one of them is
little
him.
decals.
One of them is Spider-Man fighting Venom, and my mind started playing tricks on me because I'm returning over and looking at where Spider-Man was fighting Venom, and I saw the Scream face.
Oh,
What was his name?
Ghostface.
Ghostface. I saw Ghostface, and I freaked out.
As one should.
Yeah. So, and then I like got up and I was just like, it's Spider-Man and Venom, but I'm definitely not going to sleep right now. So,
Ooh. If you have a spooky story, we want to hear it.
Please.
We want to know what you've got going on up in there. Be as detailed as you like. The spookier, the better. Maybe we'll tell it on next week's episode, which is the big Halloween extravaganza. So make sure you watch the YouTube video for that, because we're going to be in full costume.
let's go.
Spooky season. Now you want to talk about this spooky thing. Tell the people about these.
One thing before, because I don't have any examples of this one, but I remember when I was younger, and I know you could attest to this as well, is in terms of spooky stories, scary stories to tell in the dark.
Yes.
Well, let me tell you.
Great show.
We
Horrible
had
movie.
Great books, though.
Oh, yeah,
The
absolutely.
books were terrifying. And when you are like a 10-year-old and they're accessible in your school's library,
Scholastic's Book Fair.
you get
The original class
you
system.
get a super coked out Miss Frizzle like, you should watch the demons. And yeah, it's terrifying.
Fucking school. Hey,
But yeah, one of my favorite horror movie things, or not horror movie, but just like spooky things from the internet is 2 Cents horror stories. And one of the worst ones, and by worst I say like most spellbinding and just like, oh shit, is very similar to what you were talking about with the little girl.
Okay.
Where it's like, I was walking in the park and I noticed that there was a little girl crying, and I asked her, what's wrong? And she said, no one came to my funeral. And I remember I read that for the first time and I was like, oh shit. Oh God. Because I immediately, and this is probably like a bad habit of mine, is as soon as I finished the sentence, I put myself in that dude's or person's shoes. And I was like, what would I do in that situation?
I would never stop and be like, are you okay, honey?
Would I panic? Would I freeze? Or would I just try and play along? Just out of weird, terrified curiosity.
Nobody came to my funeral. Well, were you a loser? Nobody came to my funeral. Do you have any
my God.
friends? Did you give them enough time to RSVP? What? You gotta plan a party before you expect people to just show up.
Oh my God. Anyway.
If you want to talk about like play along, I would never ask anybody crying in the middle of the world, are you okay? What's wrong? I'm gonna keep it fucking pushing.
I think
fuck
for
politeness.
I think for me it would depend on where I saw this person. Like if I'm like taking a shortcut home and I'm on my bike or I'm walking and it's the cemetery and I see somebody crying, more than likely I'm gonna be like, mm-mm. Even though it could very much so be like a widow, a sibling, a relative. That's just, like mourning.
If I
the
see
loss.
somebody crying at a fucking cemetery, I don't need to ask them what's wrong. Oh, they're at a cemetery. Someone's dead. They're paying their respects. Bye.
That is a wildly valid point.
Absolutely. If somebody's crying, let them cry.
Yeah, it's not like you're gonna approach them like, what's wrong? There's like, I didn't end up saving a bunch of money switching to Geico. That'll never
I
be the
did
scenario.
15% or more.
Anyway, sponsor
I
us.
added 15% on my fingers with these fingernails.
Sponsor us. Anyway, I don't know what they would do for us, but whatever.
Absolutely nothing.
But
Sorry.
but if I could just
Tell me some 2-sentence horror stories.
yeah, I mean there's a couple of good ones, and
I've got a 1-sentence horror story. I Can't Toast. It's a gay man's horror story right there.
I can't toast.
Toast.
So This one,
Here's another scary gate story. The water's still not clear. Because douching. You stick water up your ass, you shoot it out, and wait for it to be clear. I've seen, like, gay internet memes. That is a 2-sentence horror story. When you've been douching for 45 minutes and the water still isn't clean and he says he's outside. That's a horror story. That's a American horror story right there. A gay American horror story.
Is that a San Francisco horror story?
It's just a gay horror story. It doesn't have to be in San Francisco. San Francisco? Not as gay as you might think.
How about, like, Fire Island?
There you go.
Or, like...
Fire Island, Provincetown, Asbury Park, we could even throw in.
What's Provincetown?
Rhode Island.
Provincetown or Providence?
Maybe Providence. I don't know. I've never been.
Okay. You know what's funny about Providence, Rhode Island?
What?
I'm actually going there this weekend.
Are you really? Oh, bitch!
For
what are you going there for?
So, Jose's birthday.
Oh, yes. Okay.
I don't know.
Hey, Jose.
Happy at this point belated birth. Yeah, happy at this point belated birthday. He wants to go to a place called PV Donuts, which
where Mike always goes.
Yeah, but I don't know why else we're going, but
those donuts, I guess you have to eat them there because anytime I've had one, someone brought them back. I guess they just don't travel well.
You gotta consider it's like a three. It's not like they're going from the bakery to the gym, so it's not just a 3-hour ride.
No, I know it sits for like days. Here's something I did this weekend. I drove 49 minutes to go get ice cream from some fucking creamery place in Point Pleasant.
Okay.
It was so good.
Nice.
So good.
The way you started telling that story, I thought it was going to end poorly. Like you drove.
I drove all the way down there just to get ice cream. And drove right back.
Hey, I mean, I drove.
You do that for beer, yeah, all the time. But you at least like stock up and like beer travels. You can buy 14 things of beer.
Yeah,
and it'll travel well. I can't buy that much ice cream.
What's
and drive
good too
that
is if I decide because I have full intention of doing another giveaway for charity. So what's good is that as we get to the colder months, I won't really have to worry about the travel because
it'll just stay cold.
Yeah. Now this one, I don't know how many are on this list, and it's kind of very similar to our Florida Man thing. I'm not going to try and emulate that one again, but
why not? It was so much fun.
I did have a great time doing that.
Florida Man, that's a 2-sentence horror story too.
That's a 2-word horror story. So this one, it's both eerie and then just the comment I was wildly entertained by.
Okay.
So, I can hear 1 year into the future. Today the noise stopped. Spooky.
Very spooky.
But
then
the comment,
the
comment underneath put the lyrics to the final countdown, and even put the and I just can't help but laugh. But so another spooky one. This one's a little more ominous because there's been a lot of crazy stuff that has happened over the last couple of years, really. And it's the number one. I don't know if it's rated or anything, but the story is, I decided to kill off a few characters in the book I'm writing. It'll definitely spice up my autobiography. See,
that's
it's like a little
shit.
Yeah, right? Let's see.
I just saw this 2-sentence horror story, and it reminded me of a hometown murder that they did on My Favorite Murder of an episode I was listening to not too long ago.
Okay.
There was a picture of me sleeping in my phone.
You live alone.
I live alone. Mm-hmm. Now, they don't. The story for this was it's not that they lived alone, but in this one particular bedroom, they would wake up and see photos of them sleeping on their phone, and it happened several times. I would never. There's 2 things in this world I don't like: a photo of me sleeping, and a photo taken without my permission.
Regardless if it's a spirit or not.
Absolutely, I don't care who you are. Ask me for my permission. Consent. Consent is key. Consent is key.
I can so vividly and wholeheartedly imagine you.
I would wake up at the campfire.
I think it's. I want to say the scene is from I Know What You Did Last Summer, where the character like runs out into a field and she's just like, "What are you waiting for? What are you waiting for?" I can imagine you doing that. Be like, "Who the fuck do you think you are?" Taking pictures of me.
This is what would happen. Ready? Who the fuck said you could do that? Let me check that angle really quick. Let me make sure you got me from my good side.
If you think that
Did you get a whole pic?
Do you think you're about to post that shit? Is there a filter on there?
Is there a filter? Can I Photoshop it? Do you have Facetune?
What the fuck is Facetune?
Facetune is some things that girls get really carried away with. Some guys too. I've never used Facetune except for one time in my life. And I have to tell you, I paid like $150 for a meet and greet ticket for a drag queen.
Oh, okay.
Did I tell you this story?
No, I'm just glad that you...
I paid $150 for a meet and greet ticket to meet a drag queen and go to a show. Wow.
So much louder than I thought it was.
That was so much louder than it needed to be.
Round 2.
And...
Oh, fuck. Damn it.
Oh.
Oh, shit, that's good.
And the person who took the photo for the meet and greet took one photo. And they took one photo while I would, like, just finished saying a sentence. So I looked at the photo and I said, what the fuck is going on in here on this day? The girls in front of me were like, yeah, they're being really rude with the photos. So we just downloaded Facetune to fix it. And I was like, bitch, let me get that. I Facetuned the fuck out of this photo in the stupidest ways because I just couldn't make it look good.
So, to segue back.
Yes, tell me another
this-
horror story. Here's the 2 sentences horror story. They took a photo of me. I didn't look good.
All right.
They took a photo of me. There was no filter. Like I don't need you to read me them. I could write them.
They took a photo of me. Thanks. I hate it. Anyway, this one is honestly possibly one of the most relatable things I've heard in terms of what could be horror.
Yes.
The driver wasn't very chatty, so I checked my phone. Hey, it's your Uber. I'm outside. That is some real shit right there, man.
That's fucking crazy.
That is some real shit.
Especially because there's been a lot of people reporting Uber drivers that are attempting to like literally kidnap them.
Right.
Have you seen that?
Yeah.
Have you taken Uber?
Not recently.
We did. We've taken Ubers before.
Yeah, but I'm like not anytime recently.
I've never taken one alone. I don't even have the Uber app to like request an Uber.
The last time I used Uber, I think, excuse me, I throw it that way now. Is I dropped my car off for service and I didn't have a ride back home, and it would have been like a couple miles walk on the highway. I was just like, nah, I was gonna get an Uber. But so this one is more comedic, 2 sentence horror story.
I'm listening.
Is the face for me or for you?
The one that I just found.
Okay, perfect.
It's a terrifying one.
All right, so you go first, and then I'll lighten the mood.
Okay. I woke up to hear knocking on the glass. At first, I thought it was from the window until I heard it come from the mirror again. Ooh. A mirror is a gateway to other dimensions,
Absolutely.
portals.
Now,
quote me on that.
Now, one thing I always found so scary is stories of and movie renditions of when people are like FaceTiming. They're like FaceTiming, they're talking, and they're like, hey, when'd you get that statue? And they're like, huh? What are you talking about? And then stabbed. Anyway, do you have another scary one?
I do.
Do it, because this one I
Here's
have
another
is
scary one.
lighthearted.
My wife woke me up last night to tell me there was an intruder in our house. She was murdered by an intruder 2 years ago.
Oh, God.
Some of that, yeah. I like whoever writes these. Woo, they know how to incite the creeps. I'm getting chilly.
All right, so here's a
Give me the funny one.
I finally got into a comfortable and warm position under my bed covers. I then had to pee.
That is a 2 sentence horror story, bitch.
But yeah, like people get like real creative.
My sister says that mommy killed her. Mommy says that I don't have a sister.
Oh, bitch.
That's a good one.
Ooh.
True 2 sentence horror stories. What?
This one makes me think. Go ahead.
I found a dead body in my trunk today, which is strange because I remember putting 2 in there yesterday. What?
Ooh.
Do you want to play a game, girl? Damn.
So here's a good one, and this one actually is making me a little freaked out.
Ooh.
I've always wondered, what's the site for anyway? I asked as Death escorted me to the underworld. Protection, he answered nervously.
Say that one again?
I've always wondered what's the scythe for anyway. I've always wondered what's the scythe for anyway, I asked, as death escorted me to the underworld. Protection, he said nervously.
Damn.
Yeah, that one makes me think, is there a scarier entity out there than death? That is... Oh, God, my brain. I'm going to have
There is
such
a scarier
weird
entity.
life.
Lindsay Lohan.
Oh, I hate you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh, poor Lindsay. She's been through so much.
Here's a good one.
Lindsay
I have one that
Lohan
we
has
could
been
like
through
end
so
it
much.
on or like start to wrap it up. So I'll save that one. That's a good one. It's a lighthearted one, we'll say.
I don't like that one. That one's creepy. Like,
Read it.
No, like creepy, like...
Creepy. Okay.
Yeah, I'll explain after the episode.
So...
Oh, this is a good one. And this one, I like this one, actually, because this could be a good premise to a movie, like almost like an anti-hero kind of thing. The people of the town said a monster lived in the woods. I frankly found it ridiculous, for I was the only one who lived in the woods, and I've never seen a monster. Quasimodo.
I just like, let's use our deductive reasoning skills here. If there's a monster in the woods and you're the only one that lives in the woods, you're the fucking monster. Hello? Like, are people that delusional? Yes, actually. I don't even need you to help me answer that question.
Wait, this one? Hold on. My mom says I need to start taking my schizophrenia medication again because it's unhealthy for me to suddenly stop taking them. But it's the only way I can keep her around.
What?
I'm going to say that one again because I'm a little confused. My mom says I need to start taking my schizophrenia medication again because it's unhealthy for me to suddenly stop taking them. But it's the only way I can keep her around.
Oh, wow.
Shit.
That's fucking... Ooh, that gave me the chills, actually.
Oh.
That's really wild.
Oh, God. I get it now.
Yep.
Jeez.
I awoke to the sound of the baby monitor cracking with a voice comforting my firstborn child.
I hate baby monitors.
As I adjusted to a new position, my arm brushed against my wife, sleeping next to me. Ghost comforting your child. Holy cow.
Ooh, I hate baby monitor stories so much. Remember there was like a scandal where people were hacking into like Nest cams and baby monitor cams, and they would talk to, and they would tell kids like, "I'm Santa Claus, I'm outside."
Yeah. Ooh.
That's a scary story.
Absolutely.
That's a scary story. That is some real shit, man. Like, oh, God damn it. Yes. Please.
On my way home from work, a homeless man showed me a newspaper article with tomorrow's date. It said I was murdered by a homeless man while walking home.
So I have a good one.
Okay.
That also has a comedic comment again, so much like the Final Countdown one.
Gotcha.
So ready? I told the genie for my third and final wish I wanted my family to be happy, and I started to fade away. The comment, however, despite how sad that one is, nah, that's Thanos for sure. Pure coincidence.
I can't.
God, I hate the internet, but damn it, I don't know what I would do without it. Oh, God.
Please, Mommy, let us in, they screamed outside of the house. Meanwhile, inside the house, a terrified woman desperately tried to call the police, unable to comprehend why those men were wearing the faces of her dead kids as masks. I was alone when the lights went off, and as I reached for the matches, it was put in my hand.
Say that one again?
I was alone when the lights went off, and as I reached for the matches, it was put in my hand.
Okay. Fuck. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
The note said, I hate you, Mom. I've run away from home forever. It took me 5 tries, but I finally got the handwriting to look just like hers.
Damn.
Dude.
Oh.
So the more I look into these are actually from Reddit. So
yes, Reddit is very
So
well
these are
known
just
for these.
people using their own creative dark minds. Like this one here, for example. We found your daughter, the officer said as he drew an X on the map, and then he drew another. and another, and another, and another.
Ooh.
Oh, fuck, man. Like, oh my God.
The last thing I saw was my alarm clock flashing 12:07 before she pushed her long, rotted nails through my chest, her other hand muffling my screams. I sat bolt upright, relieved it was only a dream, but as I saw my alarm clock read 12:06, I heard my closet door creak open.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Give me one more, and then let's wrap it up with my funny one.
Yeah. Okay, good. Because this is going to be Florida Man all over again. We're going to just keep going forever. My wife being pregnant without my involvement normally would have made me suspicious. Since we've been alone in this spaceship for a year, it made me afraid. That's good.
That's wrong.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
Demon semen.
Oh my God. A comment. Think positive. Self-impregnancy. Some reptiles can do it. Oh, wait. That's even scarier.
Oh my God.
Oh my God. We really can go forever, and that's like the scariest thing about this, but please do yourself a favor. And I mean, Vince is going to be our closer for tonight, but if you're bored and you're in the spooky mood, pour yourself a glass of hot cocoa or beer or wine or whiskey or whatever you're into. It's spooky season. It could be blood. I don't care. Just don't make it mine.
Wine.
The blood of Christ. Oops,
Amen.
Anyway. And involve yourself in some 2-sentence horror stories. In fact, you said it was a show also?
There's a show on Netflix. I wonder if they're putting out a second season, actually, because it came out last year, called 2-Sentence Horror Stories. And it opens the show with the first sentence. There's a whole story. And then it gives you the second sentence at the end.
Ooh, I'm going to have to look into that.
You're going to have to.
Is it still on Netflix?
Absolutely, it has to be. There's no, especially for this time of the year, there's no way they took it off.
Fair.
But
yeah, let's just
check that out.
Let's just keep Friends on for every fucking year. Overrated. Fight me.
Anyway, 2-Sentence Horror Stories on Netflix. Absolutely great if you're in the mood for like a quick little scare, because they're not that long, and each episode is a different story. But let me end this with you with probably the most horrifying 2-sentence horror story I've ever read in my entire life. We're sorry. We're out of breadsticks. That's on the 2-sentence horror story page. That. And on that note,
if there was more room for me to slink under this table,
would you just slide it like a snake?
Like a human slug?
Like a slippery snake.
Like a slippery snake.
Slippery snake.
Which is actually what I made fun of Dave of today, because apparently he's the cobra. So have fun being the slippery snake.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
Get yourself some breadsticks, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe, and interact with us. And we'll see you next week for the Halloween extravaganza episode.
And enjoy your breadsticks.
Bye.